Well, hello everyone, it's Sunday night, 8 o'clock, and Lisa and I are going to take you through an hour together looking at the summer and navigating our way through the summer. Now, I'm recording tonight, so it might be that you're watching this and it's not Sunday night. There's going to be a little challenge with you, though, to check in with your manager off the back of this, and we're going to give you a 48-hour window. So if you are watching this recording, then we'll have encouraged you to get stuck in as quick as possible after this session. So tonight is interactive, and so again, please do ask lots of questions, and we would love for you to share what you're doing as well. So how tonight is going to work is Lisa and I are going to share lots of ideas with you and some top tips on how you can not just survive the summer months with Temple Spa, but to actually thrive. And obviously our business is totally flexible. We're our own, business women and men, and we run this, and a lot of us have families and have lots of things going on over the summer. So navigating our way through that will be different for all of us. That's one of the wonderful things about Temple Spa. So we're going to share our top tips, and Lisa's already implemented some and had some success, so that's really exciting, and I'm really excited to hear about that as well. But I thought, before we actually get into any of the practical advice, I'd love to just ask you a question, those of you that are here especially, or if you're watching this and it's been recorded and you're taking an hour out to connect in this way. Why are you here? It's Sunday night, it's 8 o'clock, you've seen this session advertised. What is it that drew you to this session? Why have you decided to take the time out? This session is about making your summer sizzle and navigating your way through what can be, there's some challenges. There's challenges at all times of year, but summer can throw some challenges up. So Olivia says that she found summer a little bit tricky last time. You don't have to answer in the chat if you'd love to, but I want you just to think about why you're here. And that could be something that, again, you go away and you think, yeah, why is this important to me? Because actually summer is a time where, for lots of us, we've got children off. If we have kids or grandkids, we've got them off. So there's some navigating to be done. And I want you to think about how your diary then reflects what you want. So why are you here? Why are you taking the time out to be here? What do you want for the summer? What would you love your summer to look like? Would you like an extra class this month? Would you like to do something new next month and try something completely different? What capacity do you have? So hopefully you've got your diary with you tonight. Hopefully you've got a notebook and pen. But I want you to start thinking, because Lisa and any other managers and anyone who's been in this business for any length of time will tell you, this business is won and lost in the mind. It is all about what goes on up here and what you do yourself. So what are some of the things that we could say about the summer? Olivia, you said you'd found it tricky last summer. Why might we find it tricky? That's fine, Olivia, no problem at all.
I think you can sometimes think, and I've thought this as well, that, everyone's going to be away, everyone's going to be with the kids, not going to have the time. It's going to dry up, kind of thing. Because the summer gets busy when the kids are off, and even if you haven't got kids, for some reason life just seems to get busier in the summer.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing that I hear from my customers is actually they're not all away because they don't all have children. A lot of my customers don't want to holiday during school holidays because it's more expensive. So actually they're looking for things to do in the summer with their friends.
Have we lost Lisa?
Oh, she just froze. Maybe she'll come back.
I think I've gone.
Oh,
You're
yes.
back, you're back.
Did you lose me? Sorry.
We're like,
I have no idea.
Everybody's gone, Lisa, but you went.
I just went. So essentially what I was saying was that not everybody is on holiday, and a lot of people stay around because it's too expensive to holiday abroad inside school holidays. Not everyone has children.
What are some of the other things that we might hear over the summer?
I've spent all my money on school trips.
Yeah, man, kids and grandkids, it's expensive. It's expensive having extra bodies in the house that are usually out at school or not here, and having people to stay. And
I think especially the past couple of months as well, bills have gone up. So
yeah.
people are saving the pennies a little bit more carefully.
Yeah. Okay, so definitely people not around as much. People's plans changing over the summer, but I'm not sure if I'm going to go away because, if it's a nice weekend, we might go to the coast. So we're getting a feel for what some of the obstacles could be. But what I want you to do in starting this time together is I want you to think about what you're saying to yourself about summer. So what is going through your head when you think about summer? Are you thinking about that further away? Hey Kirsty, I'm just going to pop you on mute, my lovely. I think you're in a hotel, aren't you? So you must be traveling. Are you saying everyone's away? People are too busy, or people have got children off, so they must just be too busy. What is it that you're saying to yourself in your head? And we want to encourage you to flip that around, because this is won and lost in the mind. So while ever you're thinking people are not going to be interested, that's either going to hold you back and then you're just not going to ask, or it's going to come across in the ask. Whereas if we can really sort our self-talk in our head out, and then our self-talk can reflect what we want and actually what we believe for our summer. And I find it really exciting because I think the summer can be a brilliant opportunity to try some new things. So what are you saying to yourself in your head? So again, why are you here? Why is it important to you that you keep your summer sizzling? What do you have available in your diary to commit to Temple Spa? And we're going to share loads of tips and quick things that you can implement, things that you can just do, touch points, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you have it. It doesn't have to be a lot of time, but that intentionality of you doing that and being positive about your business during the summer months will really impact the rest of your summer. So self-talk, what are you believing for? What are you hoping for this summer? And then just finally, before we move on to our tips, what will spur you on? What will actually encourage you to then do that? Because it's all good and well hearing all these tips and sharing ideas, and that's wonderful. But actually, what will make you then implement that? And we are going to give you some freebies, and there's going to be a prize draw and all of that good stuff. But actually, this is your business. And so we want you to think, yeah, what would spur me on actually? Because I do have some dates that I could teach classes or put on a clinic, or just take some time to reach out to some friends and tell them about my new business, whatever it is. What would spur you on? Would it be hamper points? We're in this wonderful hamper promotion right now. You're going to earn some hamper points and receive all those amazing goodies when they come out in September. Would it be the extra income? Would you love to be jetting off on a holiday later this year, or saving up for the holiday of your dreams for next year? So again, try and think, what would spur me on actually? And that will help with all of these things that we are going to share. And put your hand up if this is your first summer with Temple Spa. Yes. So for most of you, this is not your first summer. So if this is not your first summer, then you'll know that if you can keep momentum, and I think momentum is so important, and it's okay to lose momentum. That's okay, as long as we pick it back up. It's like you can fall off that bike, that's okay. But if you get back on, that's the most important thing. And if you can have a good summer and a good mindset, it will propel you into the autumn winter season, which is undeniably the best season in the business. It really, really is. So let's be positive about the summer. Let's be really positive. Hopefully all these things that we're going to share with you will really help to excite you about the possibilities that are ahead. So should we get started, Lisa, with all our ideas? Hopefully you'll just be writing loads of ideas down, and then at the end we're going to ask you which top 3 things you would love to implement, and you're going to share that with your manager, and that is part of your chance to win something lovely as well. Lisa, do you want to get started with our first few top tips? And I'm just going to take a note of who's here.
So is this the top tips of the 2 minutes or the top tips?
No, so if we just get started with basically our best business practices to keep the summer thriving rather than just surviving. So I think the first thing we were just going to mention was host prep, really. If you've got in the diary, why is host prep so more important over the summer months?
So obviously we know that host prep is so important, but it's even more important over the summer because some people do cancel. Okay, it's or reschedule. I like to never say that we're going to cancel a class. I always like to say that we're going to just reschedule, and I try and then get the date in the diary. So host prep is very, very important, and the host, quite often in summer, they think that, exactly as we've said, one of those challenges is everyone's on holiday, whereas actually it might be that you can say, let's well, invite people, and if you invite a friend, if they can invite a friend as well, then you've got another person, and you can incentivize for them to bring a friend. Bringing new into your business is so good, and especially when you're just starting out, Lucy, when you can get new people in who you don't know, that will absolutely build your business exponentially. So you could incentivize by just doing a tapas or a little like maybe, I don't know, a glow facial. So just with the tapas, so yeah, just a little glow facial. Here you are, I'll give you this one if you bring somebody in. When we say offer incentives, I always get worried that people worry that we expect you to give so much. Honestly, I went to a class and I was incentivized to book a class, and all I got was a moisture to go, a little, in fact, this little glass jar with some cotton pads in, and that was it. That was what made me book. So it doesn't need to be anything enormous, but adding incentives to booking and hosts is absolutely fantastic. A host gift, you could really concentrate. We have amazing host gifts at the moment, especially that triple cleanse. You could go really big on the triple cleanse. The face brush in this bag is £50 alone, plus they get their own cleanser and a cleanser of choice, and it could be in the beginning at no extra charge. And then you get a muslin cloth as well. This is absolutely my favorite host gift. But maybe you could do a real concentration on that. Just mention to people, would you like one of these sonic brushes? Because I can guarantee there are customers in your database that want a sonic brush but don't want to pay £50 for it. They might have other host gifts that they've already won or received, and they'll love them. But the cleansing brush set is brilliant. Another massive, just tell me when you want me to stop, Abby. One great thing for keeping it going is to host a class at home. I cannot express how great this is. If you're looking at your diary and you look at August and you think, I have nothing, don't worry, there's lots of people who, you can get them. But do you know what the easiest way of doing it is? Put one in for yourself early on in the month, as early as you can. Obviously make this so that it fits around you and the time that you have. So you might look at your diary, you might look at August and go, this one, I've got the 4th, and that's what I'm going to do. Choose that date, select it, put it in there. You then have a class for August. From that class, you can get more classes for August if you do it as early as possible for you. You can build them from that. You can either do it in your home. If you don't want to do it in your home, or you're unable to do it in your home, then why not do a virtual one? I always try and have a virtual one in every month, just and quite often they are my repeat customers, and then I'll incentivize them to bring somebody new, and if they bring someone new to a class with me, they'll get a prize. Everyone loves a prize, don't they? So that is the easiest way for you to get classes in your diary, is to host yourself.
I think you've just mentioned like such an important thing there as well, which is meeting new people. So no matter what stage you are in the business, so Lucy's brand new, you know, and even for us managers, it's so important that we're always meeting new people. So actually, the summer can be a lovely way to make that a real goal. And I think hosting at home, I mean, there's a reason why when you get started, we offer you a launch class and we say, just, you know, think about your guest list, do it from home. But I think, Lisa, that's just such a good tip. You could just invite 3 or 4 people and ask them to invite someone who you don't know, who's never heard of Temple Spa before. And you could give, like Lisa said, a little gift as a thank you. So that's so important, isn't it?
It also helps you will know when you, because if you've been in it a little while, you'll know you have some customers who have never hosted. They've never hosted, and actually they don't want to host, but they love classes, and for whatever reason they don't want to host. Maybe they don't want people in their home or whatever it is. But if you can offer it, you can actually put their mind at rest at how easy it could be. You know, you don't need to make it too much, too showy or anything. So you can put everyone at ease and just say, this is how we do it. But this is a great time of year for the garden ones. So if you've got a summer breeze class, you only need a table outside. That's it. You don't need a great big fancy lavish garden. You just need a space. We are in the business of making spa spaces. That's what we do. We make spaces look beautiful.
I just say as well, I've been looking at other people's setups, and I've always, I mean, I've been in the business now nearly 3 years, so I'm always thinking of trying to think, oh, I need to be creative with my table setup. But actually, when I've looked at other people's setups, it's so simple. It looks absolutely stunning, and I think simple is, for me now, I'm definitely going to go more simple, because then it takes the pressure off me as well. So I just think, yeah, just beautiful, be simple.
I've always felt overwhelmed about people's table settings, and you know what, we have the gorgeous placemats, we have the mirrors, we have the headbands. We can make a place setting look gorgeous, even with the flyers. They look beautiful. We don't need to overcomplicate, and we just need to keep it simple. I mean, obviously, if you want to go, if you are that person that makes a beautiful display, then by all means do it. Another thing at home, some people might say, oh, I've got the children with me. Now, I know that I would feel comfortable with some of my friends if I said, well, you can bring the children, because Poppy, she's old enough to sort of, I mean, obviously we're all in the same sort of area, and if they want to come and join in, and I've done them where daughters and sons have sat, and we've done a lovely little facial with the children as well. But actually, I could probably say, do you know what, Poppy could probably keep an eye on them. I'll probably bung her a £5, and obviously it's not an official babysitting, but it's a way of just making people feel relaxed, and actually they don't have to go and find somewhere for the children, because it is chilled. We're Temple Spa, we're all about just relaxing and keeping people happy, and what's better than having your children looked after while you're having a facial? Obviously it's not right for everybody and wouldn't work in all, but it's just a little idea. We've probably all got.
Can I just share something there, Lisa, just before we move on from kind of the hosting at home sort of a thing, is the idea of a pop-up at home. So just not even necessarily a class, but just having your skin therapy out on the kitchen table, and doing like a drop-in. So just saying from, 10 till 1 on Saturday. And by the way, I think impromptu is great over the summer. We kind of did this with you tonight. We were like, what are you doing on Sunday night? And you all knew whether you could be here or not immediately. So why don't you just schedule a pop-up spa at home? It's a drop-in, and is there a charity that's close to your heart, or do you have a friend that has lots of friends? Could you suggest to her that she brings a few friends over and you support her favorite charity or something close to her heart? I mean, I know in August there a breast cancer charity in August that do, it's almost like, you know, Macmillan in September, where you get the pack and you get all the collateral around it and you can do some fundraising. There's definitely a breast cancer charity that in August do that. So perhaps partner up with a charity and just do a drop in. It's as easy as literally having your kids out, and just letting people, you know, if you were at an event or something, you'd let people smell the pose, you'd let people use Excel and talk. So no, Carol, it wouldn't be a class. You wouldn't need to know numbers. It's just drop in, drop out, informal. Yes, you could do a very simple skin analysis with people from the skin therapy questionnaire, and you could recommend some products for them and they could try them. And if you wanted to, you could have some flannels there ready if they want to give it a go. But it's very informal, no structure, and it just allows people to pop in and see what it is that you're doing. And again, you could do that. I'd love for you to drop in. I'm supporting a charity. Could you bring a friend that I've not met before? If so, I'll donate a £5 to the charity. You could do everyone that pops a date in with me tonight for their own pamper, I'll donate £5 to the charity. You could raffle off the Taste of Temple Spa and ask people to donate to, you know, pop a little jar there, get people to donate or do raffle tickets.
And I'd also have these are invaluable when you have people coming around. Lucy, if you haven't seen these before, they're little cards that have got about win a free skincare gift, and they pop their details in, but it also says here that they'd like to know more about attending or a class, so, or hosting a class. So that these are invaluable on the hub under host gift.
Tools, so they're just so great for getting people's information, aren't they? Whereas normally at a class you do the whole order form thing, whereas this is not, it's not that, it's just getting people's information there as well, isn't it? Lisa, I feel like you're good at incentivizing with gifts. I mean, the next point is about having product in your office / Temple Spa cupboard, wherever you house your Temple Spa stuff. How do you make your product work for you, Lisa? Like if you had, say if you'd got some free Life Defense on the offer or whatever it is.
Temple Spa are amazing at rewarding us. They are fantastic. And I decided from the beginning that I would use those rewards for my business. That's how I was going to do it. I mean, there are some that I've kept for myself and used, but I treat myself with those. Like I want a candle and that one gets lit specifically for me, not during work. But I have a lot of, so this one, for instance, might have been a free or an incentive one. It's a spiral of wherever you are. So what I might do with this is, I'm the queen of wrapping. I love like wrapping things up, and I'm not the queen of it. There are better people. But what I might do is I might take this and I might go, okay, that's that beautiful eye mask. I'm going to do a quietude and I'm going to pop a repose in. Okay, and I just do that. So I've split. I've still got 4 or 5 products left. This has cost me nothing because I've won it. And then it's wrapped in a little organza bag, and it will say book to receive or book, and I'll take these to my classes and I will use them. I also do book to look at classes where they can win a prize, so it's a little envelope, and they can win a prize if they put a date in with me at that day. But also there's going to be things, if we've been in the business any time at all, there are going to be things that are sitting in your shelves that you maybe, like the Life Defense, you've just got for free. That's earning you no money sat in on the shelf. But like when we say to our customers about eye cream, it's not going to work sat on the shelf. Okay, so offering an incentive for booking a class is superb. But what you could do when you've got those customers who are, maybe Janet loves Exalt and you managed to get one on buy one get one free, and you could say, Janet, host a class, bring your sister. I'd love to have your sister back on a class with me, and I'll pop in an extra Exalt for you, and you've got yourself a class. That is worth so much more than whatever you paid for that Exalt.
I love that. So look at what you have already, and then maybe look at how you've just totally been so specific and personalized with that gift, haven't you? And gone, she loves that, gotta make that work.
Yeah.
It's important therefore to know what you have in your stash at home, isn't it? Really have a little stock list. If
I
you're
wish, I wish I was that organised. I mean, it's all just in a drawer.
but you acquire so much stock, and like you say, it's no good it just sitting there. You've absolutely got to make it work for you. I love the envelope idea. I recently tried that because I had some dates over the summer that I really wanted to fill, and I did that, and I incentivized. It's basically just I had the date on the front of the envelope,
Ah,
and so they chose. So I had like a little fan of envelopes in the middle of the table, and each had a different date on. So they picked what date they wanted, and then they'd open it up, and I'd be like, "Oh, what have you won? What have you won?" And I'd have just written inside what they'd won. And again, it was just things that I had lying around in my stock, like an Easy on the Eye or a Glow Colic or whatever. But what I did was the bookings that were closer to me date wise. So any bookings for this month, I would give them a higher value gift, because obviously it's better for me to get that booking sooner. And a date that maybe was for August or later on in August, it might be an iSurvive, or something, or a few little tapas. You've won a little tapas, a luxury tapas bundle, or whatever. But I heard the other night, I think it was Lucy that shared that she put an envelope under everyone's place setting. Oh, was it you, Lisa? And it said, "What will your gift be?"
mine just said book to look. But on every single placemat, I put a small, it's very small, it's just this big. I do not mention these envelopes until nearly the end of the class, but you can see people looking at them. They're all sealed, and I'm slightly more frugal than Abby. I don't want to waste my envelopes, so I don't put the date on so I can use them again at another class. But people want to know, and I won't tell them, and you'll find people really want to know what's inside this envelope. And I do things like, because I got married recently, I had loads of Prosecco left over from the reception. So I put in a bottle of Prosecco. It cost me, well, it's already paid for, it's done by the wedding. I put in 5 samples, so little tapas, another one iSurvive, or the Contourist, something like that. That's what I put in. And then I think I did one at 10% discount on your first collection. But if they opened that, and you see a ripple effect, the moment one person opens it and they get a prize, I take the prize to the class when I do their class. So if they do cancel, they don't get their gift.
I
But
love that. It could be like fizz and nibbles on me.
yeah, when I bring a bottle of, the last class I took a bottle of Prosecco, and I said this was because Charlotte opened the book to look. Yeah, they work so well for those inquisitive people. If you've got any people, so if you're aware of the VIP host program, so this is when somebody has 3 classes within a 12-month period, and they all total £250.
It's 750 across the 3 classes.
Within a 12-month period, and then they become a VIP host, where you can get this gorgeous gift for them, which we get from head office. It's lovely. It's the leatherette box that's actually on the Orient Express, which I can vouch for because my aunt went on the Orient Express and sent me a photograph of it from there. Hello. So if you go and run your reports on your hub, have a look in that. If you don't know how to or where to go, please contact your manager. They would love to help you with this. Run your reports, have a look, and you'll see how many times they've hosted. Now, if you've got people that have hosted twice, contact them and say, I'd love to get you. I've just seen this beautiful VIP host gift, and it's got your name written all over it. Let's get a class together and let's get that for you, because it would look beautiful in your bathroom, however you want to put it. But get those VIP hosts. It's another class, and as we know from that one class, you can get 3 classes, 2 classes, 7 classes. But getting that is a really good one. We've got here about a well-being clinic. Clinics are so good. They're so good. They're capsule clinics. They are all the beautiful parts of a class, but not as long invested. So if you have got people who are really busy and they say, I've got no time over the summer, do you know what? Let's do a capsule. Let's do an hour class, 45 minutes. Let's just get that clinic in. So these clinics, again, are things that you could host yourself, or that you could get somebody to do a capsule clinic themselves in their home, or even at the office, not everyone's off, not everyone's on holiday. There are people still very much working, so you could go along
As well,
to
Lisa, that's a really good point about workplace, isn't
Mm.
it? Because, you know, like you say, lots of people are going on holiday, but there's lots of poor people stuck in the office. You know, and so if you are trained in the wellbeing class, why not offer a class experience in the workplace? And why not go in with a charity angle as well? If it's a workplace that you know would benefit that, and you getting alongside a charity and working together and partnering together to raise money for a charity, that would be great. So again, the well-being thing, I think, is so vital in terms of, well, yeah, people are away, but there's a lot of people who are still working. And I think, again, it's that mindset thing of, rather than go in with, oh, I'm going to ask them even though they're probably busy and they're probably going to say no, or, you know, I'm going to approach this workplace even though I don't know what they're going to say. Rather than that, make that the reason for contacting them. So those people who you know are really busy, let them know why you're offering a clinic. A wellbeing class is half an hour or 45 minutes. A capsule class, a clinic, is short. It's a potted version. So say, this is, I know you're super busy, so this is why I thought of you. We offer these amazing pit stop experiences. So workplaces, absolutely fantastic. So what businesses do you know where there are people, where there are staff? Dentists, doctors' surgeries, libraries, could be your local boutique. I know Kirsty, who's on the call, did a bubbles and beauty event recently. She's partnered up with local restaurants, boutiques, little independent clothes stores. Could you go in and just literally offer a pit stop experience? It could be a hand massage and some R on the back of the neck. Like, it doesn't even have to be a facial. And again, this is where you can get excited about being able to tailor what you do for this season. So yeah, I mean, our school PTA, like schools, they literally, there are organisations and people that will literally bite your hand off if you say, I can do something and actually I can help raise money for a great cause. So I think the wellbeing slant, and again, if you're not trained in the wellbeing class, or if you're hearing the word clinic and you think, I don't even know what you're talking about, I've only ever taught a skin therapy class, that's okay. Oh, soaking wet dog. Squeaking.
Yeah, Abby, I was about to ask this question. Is clinic is the same like well-being class?
So the wellbeing class is a class in its own right, but it's what we would call more a capsule experience. So you can do a 45-minute or a 30-minute, depending on basically whether they actually want to take their makeup off or not. That's the difference. It's either a full slumber facial or it's kind of a potted version. But when we refer to clinics, when we went into lockdown, we devised some ideas that were clinic based. So when we say clinic, it might be an oily skin clinic. So we might purely do a very quick facial for people with oily skin. So way to go, purification, moisture mat. And so it's very quick. It's literally, it gives you the opportunity to get product on people virtually or in person, to talk about our experiences, to share the host gift, to book dates in the diary, to talk about who we are and what we do, to talk about skin therapy and the opportunity to enjoy the full version, because it just whets their appetite as a clinic, really. And so, yeah, as Lisa said, you can find them all on the hub. So lots of different ideas. You know, you could do, again, a different skin type clinic. You could do a hand care clinic. So there's loads of ideas there for you on the hub, and I know Angie will be able to help guide you in the right direction there. So yeah, lots of different options there for us.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm writing it down now.
That's great. So who's jetting off on holiday this summer? Who's actually going away? No, even not
everyone.
You might be going to somewhere in the UK, like I'm going to Devon at the end of this next week.
I'm going away.
But how many of you, when you go away, do you take your business cards with you? I'm not going to put my hand up because I'm terrible at it. Slap me across the wrist. I'm awful. I need to start doing it. But maybe when you go away, if you do go away, or if you're just wandering through your local high street and people have come to your local high street because they're on holiday, as you're just doing life throughout the summer, do you have business cards with you? If you don't, could you, note to self, Abby, put them in your bag, put them in a jacket pocket. What about, and Lisa's great at this, I know so many of you are, what about a little host a class brochure with some little mini tapas in there, or popped up in a little cellophane envelope with a ribbon around it? You know, could you have some little tapas in your suitcase if you are going away? Because actually, if you want to keep your business not just ticking over, but actually thriving and meeting new people and seizing every opportunity, then actually when you talk to people about what you do, and you may be sat there thinking, oh, they won't be interested. Trust me, people are interested in what you do. And when you say, I work in skincare and well-being, and I'm passionate about helping people feel amazing in their skin, again, have you thought about your title? Have you thought about what you say to people when they ask what you do? Do you say, oh, does that work for a skincare company? Do you like fold into your little shell? It's really easy to do that. Or do you say, I'm in the business of helping people look and feel great? Or I love helping people press pause and enjoy some me time. Is that something you'd enjoy? You know, have you got that little one line there where people go, ooh, that sounds great? So, and then have you got the collateral to follow up with that? Have you got samples? Have you got information? Do you know what I would do though as well as having these conversations and letting people sample? I would find a way to get their information too, especially if you are giving samples away. So if you are investing in them with some mini products, yes, they haven't cost you very much, but you've given those to them. And so I would absolutely be saying, I would love to hear how you get on. Would you mind doing me a little review? Could I just drop you a message in 3-4 days time? I mean, these samples will probably last you a good week anyway. Can I just take your number? Can I just drop you a message and see how you've got on? They're not going to say no, are they, when you've just given them those samples? So the fortune is absolutely in follow-up. I know, Lisa, you've done some brilliant little packs of different tapas depending on people's skin type, haven't you?
Yeah, really simple to do as well. Just using, because I saw somebody else do this, and I messaged somebody and said, so I can't take credit for it. And I messaged somebody to say, how would you do that? And it was as simple as this. So these are brochures. I always put my details on them as well, and I also stick a QR code on as well, just because. Right, so it's as simple as folding it over, putting it in a plastic little bag, and including in there those products. So I include in the beginning tapas, a glow colic, most revealing, a life defense, and let's concentrate as well. So, and I just put them in together like that, and I just put them there like that, pop my business card in, stick it over with a sticker, and that is my pack. This is their glow pack. And then people have it. They've then got the whole brochure as well. They've got your website, but I also do them for other people. If you don't want to do that many tapas, because actually Let's Concentrate's a more expensive tapas, don't worry, there's loads of them. Hydrate, only 4 products, a balance one, there's all sorts. So I just do that and have those to give. They're really easy, they don't mess up or anything. I also put in a cotton pad, but I keep them in my car. So if someone says to me, oh, my skin feels really dry, or I'm not sleeping, I'll then have the Repose one. I just have some of these made up. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I don't have them all the time. It's not like I'm but when I think about it, I have them with me, and it makes a big difference to be able to do that. That's it. They're good ones. I'm not working, but of course I'm working, aren't I? But it takes 3 seconds. Here you are.
I'm intrigued, Lisa. Do you say to, because I would be inclined to say, ignore the prices in there, because the collections aren't in there, are they?
Yeah, no, I do say, this is the price, but contact me because I can get a better price for you. This is, sometimes I'll also say these are Harrods prices, because it automatically goes, Harrods, yeah, these are Harrods prices. So you're getting that message over that this product is premium. We're talking luxury. You can buy it in Harrods. Don't worry about Harrods prices. Come to me.
Yeah.
It's also where that's why I put my little QR code on as well, so that when people go on, when they use your QR code, because people don't always type in your email address, your website address properly, but when they use the QR code, it automatically goes and it shows them those discounts. So actually, if they don't want to come to you, but they just want to sit and actually have a bit more information, then yeah. But I just ordered those off Amazon. But those packs work really, really well.
And you could do the same, but with body products. So if you are a spa and wellness consultant, you've got those things in your kit. So things like Sugar Buff, Duvet, and Soul Balm. What a lovely little trio of products. Again, if you were on holiday, you could have those with you and be around the pool. Like, come on, girls, let's just have a little like piddy by the pool. How cute!
I just on that note, I have Sugar Buff with me in my gym bag because I use it in the shower and I use the multitask duo, and I've given out 3 Sugar Buff samples because somebody has said, what is that? Oh, Marjorie, have you smelt this? And I'm like, oh, hang on just 1 second, I'll just sort of like clothe myself, bear with. And then I've had those samples with me, and whilst this sounds really ridiculously like but I just had them, and they have them, and they haven't booked a class for me, but they have ordered on my website.
Wow.
And
wow.
that's just from having, that was just being at the right place at the right time with the products. So
yeah. And again, stepping stones to then, you know, and like you said it earlier, some people just want to be a client. That's okay. Some people will come to things that you do at home. That's great. Some people will host, and we all know that we need to give people confidence in terms of hosting. I think confidence coaching is so important in the summer. In terms of hosting, it's like saying, you know, you probably will have lots of friends that are away, so why don't we just gather you and 2? Why don't we just gather you and your 2 besties, or your mum and your daughter? Just keep it really, really simple. But yeah, I think the Sugar Buff Duvet Soul Balm, I mean, I just thought with that one, it's just like a very quick express pit stop spa foot treatment, but with people obviously meeting up outdoors in the summer, could you almost approach friends and people and be like, are you having a bit of a summer get together with friends? Would you like me to come along and elevate that experience for you? Because obviously, if you've got people gathering, having drinks, enjoying each other's company in a garden, they're not going to want to take their makeup off, are they? Likely, unless it's a class format and that's what they're there to do. But actually, if you were to say, are you gathering with some friends this summer? Would you like me to come along and turn it into a little mini pit stop spa experience where they could just have a luxury foot treatment? And all people would do is bring their washing up bowl from home and a towel. And you could literally just turn the, you know, again, alfresco space, indoors, outdoors, just turn it into a spa for half an hour of their time together. So again, thinking outside the box, thinking of those little things that you can do, because actually that isn't so much you going there with, you know, the aim of selling product. That's you being a presence. That's you sharing what you do. That's you with connecting with new people. That's you talking about your experiences and hopefully bringing some details home and then being able to book classes off of the back of that. Another idea, which you may never have heard before, is if you are going away. So if you're going away on a week's holiday, 2 weeks holiday, lucky you if you are, why not make your products work for you while you are away, rather than them sat in the Temple Spa suitcase in your hallway or wherever you keep it, or letting your products get dusty on the shelves. Why don't you put a summer borrow basket together? Again, it could be those 3 core products. It could be the Glow Getter collection. It could be a whole skin therapy kit if you were that generous. But why don't you put some products together in a basket with some advice, some recommendations, some brochures? And why don't you let some trusted hosts, those hosts that, you know, when you do a class and you feel like, I could leave the room right now and they'd all be good. They all know what they're doing. They're all just, they're in it, they're loving it, they're doing it. You know, those hosts that could just do the class for you because they're a dream. Why don't you ask some of those or some good clients or some friends if you can leave a basket of products with them, and then challenge them to share the products and to get orders and treat them to a gift. What a wonderful way to seek out new consultants as well if you are building a team. But you know, could they, I mean, I'm sure they would enjoy having access to a beautiful basket of Temple Spa products. Again, if they're hosting an event at home, you wouldn't even have to be there. You'd be like, I can be here in Temple Spa Spirit. I'll leave my borrow basket with you. And here's everything that you need. You can even leave order forms so they can fill all those in and then they can just get those to you. So again, think about making your kit work for you. Just because you're not physically with your kit doesn't mean that you can't work it. I mean, for me personally, when I go away, I still take full-size product with me. So that I can, if I'm in a nice hotel room, I want to film a nice little video of me doing my skincare. And the last time I did that, I met a family, well, because I've got a 10-year-old who makes friends with everyone. And so he made friends with these lovely kids who were part of a family, and basically we just became great friends with the family. She's now coming to stay here next month and joining the business. And I was just so grateful that I had all my full-size products with me, because this entire family with 4 women in it all wanted to try the products. So I was literally just like letting them borrow all of my full sizes. So I had plenty. I had plenty for me to last week, and I had plenty for the 4 of them to try the products as well. Nikki, great suggestion. A work wellness basket for an office setting. Again, if you have someone that you trust to be in charge of that, rather than it just be help yourself. You know, if you had someone actually facilitating that, that could be amazing. Really, really good. So hopefully we're helping you to think outside the box a little bit, just mindful of time. What about social media? And this is one of the things that is in the 2, 5 and 10 minute ideas that we're going to share with you afterwards. But why not pop up some regular summer updates, things that you're doing. People love to see you. People buy from people. So when you meet people through Temple Spa, whether it's at a class or just telling them what you do and then they connect and engage with you, people do love to see what you're up to. And we're a lifestyle brand. So if you're using toning essence to cool you down and you've got the kids running around you and slip and slide in the background, well, that's great. People actually love that. You can obviously sign up to Social Media Manager on your Facebook account, so that Temple Spa will run your social media for you. So when you're away, you can just be on autopilot, and those 3 posts a day will pop up and do the work for you. And I think it's just important to make sure that your shop stays open and that people know that. So again, I love Social Media Manager because I'm not great on social media. I actually don't want to be on it every day because that's just not great for my mental health. But actually, to use Social Media Manager so that every day there is a presence in my account that people can see that that's happening is really, really great. So make sure you are signed up for Social Media Manager for the summer if you're not on there. And obviously there's lots of link products for the summer. You've got your Life Defense, you've got your Sugar Buff, we've got R to cool down, we've got all of those things. And I think the biggest thing for me with social media is I want to ask lots of questions because I want to get as much interaction as possible. So for instance, how are you keeping cool today? Well, I'm using R. So, you know, you do want to be asking lots of questions to get as much engagement as possible. You could go out on your social media and ask everyone to let you know their birthday month in the comments, and then pick one lucky person, and that one lucky person will have won an anniversary of birthday class with you, a birthday spa experience at home. You could do a celebratory class that way. That would literally be the giveaway prize. You have won a birthday pop-up spa with me. You could share your favourite product. There's loads that you can do, and we've got loads of help and advice for you. Emails from the hub as well. How many of you use emails from the hub? If you're not sending out emails from the hub, they're great. They're so good. And obviously this is more for you if you have got a database, you've got people in there. but under marketing on the hub, click on emails, and then you've got loads of templates. I always use the monthly promos one because they bring up all the current offers. But there's loads of different things that you can choose from, and you can tap in your message so it comes from you. And it's so good. But yeah, you've got tons of choice. There's different classes, there's sponsoring ones. So, you know, do mix it up and keep a note of what you send. Lisa says that she sends 2 a month. That's probably what I do as well. And I let people know that it will just be that. And I always say to people when they're giving me their email address, I'm like, do give me your email address and make sure you open that email when you do get it, because you won't get many, but when you get it, open it, because it'll be something fabulous. You won't want to miss it. And sometimes I'll just say, look, I'm not in the habit of spamming people. I personally hate that. Like, you'll get 2 emails a month, that'll be it. But you can even send like a blank email to people and personalize it to let them know what you've got going on. So if you are doing a pop-up at home or a charity collaboration, use those emails to get that information out. And then I think before we kind of finish with a few little kind of reflective ideas, customer care, just an encouragement really to keep your customer care going throughout the summer. And I think when we think of customer care, it sounds very formal and it feels a bit scary, and it feels like, oh, I have to ring people. Well, listen, make this business work for you. Customer care is simply, you've had someone that's ordered with you, you just want to see how they're getting on. And I don't know about you, but when anyone treats themselves with me, I'm like, pop your details here, because I will be dropping you a message to see how you're getting on. I can't wait to hear. So maybe take a bunch of order forms out to the garden, pour yourself a glass of something lovely, and just pop a few messages out. If you're feeling brave, pick the phone up. It's always nice, but you don't have to. You could leave a voice note, you could drop a message, and all it is how are you finding those new products? How are you getting on? Have you got any questions? Are you seeing a difference in your skin yet? Are you in a routine with them? Are you using the products regularly? And I went through a massive gap. I mean, I've been in the business 9 years, but I went through a huge gap where I didn't do customer care for ages. And then I kept putting it off because I thought, well, I can't start now because people haven't heard from me for a million years and I feel terrible. And so I just started with the most recent. I literally started with, okay, I had a class 2 weeks ago, let's start with them. And then I just worked my way backwards, and I've obviously only got so far. But, you know, don't see customer care as something like, as I say, take a few order forms out to the garden, pour yourself a glass and just spend 20 minutes connecting with your customers and seeing how they're getting on. At that point as well, that's obviously when you can say, I'd love to see you again. Sure, I've got a class next month at home. Because if you can have one booked for August now, that might be one of your things that you're going to do. If you can get a class in the diary for August, anyone you speak to now, you can say, oh, I know you're local to me, and actually I'm doing a little pop-up spa at my house. I'd love to treat you. It'd be amazing to see you. Obviously, when you talk to people, some of them will be running low on products as well. And again, you know, they'll tell you, you can say, oh, how are you getting on? How much have you got left? You've got plenty left of the product. So yeah, I think connecting in with people and again, just letting people know that your shop is open 24/7. It doesn't close. It's because you're away. And also, I think if people are going away themselves, they might like to stock up before they go away on holiday. I know for me, I want to take my own shampoo, my own conditioner, my travel therapies. I want to take bits away with me. So yeah, let people know that you are available. Is there anything that anyone wants to ask any questions on or share?
One thing that I did today was I actually did a couple of customer care calls that I haven't, and most of them I voice noted, but a couple of them I know aren't working, so I've just called them, and one of them has booked a class. So, and that was just purely a, hi, how you doing? She didn't want to book a class when we were in the class because she didn't want to invite the other people there because she, and you know, so when I was doing my whole, would anyone like to book a class? She said, well, I knew they'd all want to come, but actually they were work friends. She said, I see enough of them. So actually, whilst I build them up, customer care calls as being quite scary in my head, I had a lovely experience. It's a really nice experience. And I did 3 actual calls and got a class, and everyone was really happy to speak to me. You know, what we give people is a lovely experience, and we leave people feeling happy. And actually, when we speak to them again, they're then reminded of that loveliness. So don't forget that whilst you might think, oh, well, actually, I'm phoning them to get a call or maybe to stock up on product, but actually, to them, you're phoning because you care, and we do, you know. So just remember that.
Yeah. Carol, are you happy to share about what you shared with me in our last one-to-one about what you did recently?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, with regards to what I just bought. Okay, so I don't know where to start really. I decided I would really treat myself. So I bought something which is a real luxury. And whilst I've been going backwards and forwards and negotiating, and finally bought and signed on the dotted line, I then said to the lady, actually, you know, I know you've done me a really good deal. So I'm a lifestyle consultant and I'd really love to treat you to a facial, you know, a spa therapy at home sort of thing. And she said, oh, what does that entail? So I told her and she was like, oh yeah, that'll be really good. And I said, well, if you've got, you know, 5 or 6 really good friends that, you know, we can get together, I'll happily come to you, or we can do it by Zoom. And actually I'm going to do it with her work colleagues and her, because she said, actually, we've all worked really hard this summer. So she said, that'll be really nice. And they're looking forward to it. So I've got that booked.
Well done.
That was amazing. And you were on a day out with a friend.
I was on a day out with a friend.
Took the opportunity to do it. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. I think so often we can talk ourselves in and out of a conversation, can't we? And it's just a case of being bold and just asking, because people are so interested in what we have to offer. Okay, so I think really it is about keeping things new and keeping things fresh, isn't it? Over the summer, particularly. If you sat here thinking, oh, I feel like things have just dried up a little bit, and I, you know, my capacity for classes over the summer isn't what, you know, kids are off and I'm away and things like that, and I want to make sure that what I do is worth it. You know, and there's nothing more worth it than meeting new people. There is nothing more worth it. So what we'd love for you to think about is new, and have that focus on new. So ask yourself, how many clients would you like in August? How many new clients would you love to be adding to your database in August? How many classes would you love? How many classes do you need to make that happen? If you've decided tonight that you're going to host a class at home, well done. If you can do that, not everyone can. If you don't feel like you can host at home, do you have a friend who could open their home up for you? Could you give them a gorgeous gift? If your home scenario just doesn't lend itself, that's okay. Or is there a local pub or a cafe or somewhere you could be in a corner? Obviously with permission. So if you're hosting at home or something similar, who would you invite? Because actually when you're setting up a contact list initially with Temple Spa, we ask you not to cherry pick, don't we? As we say, don't make the decision for them. You know, this isn't about us making their mind up for them, whether they'll like it or not, or whether they'll say yes or no or not. But actually, if you have limited time over the summer, then you want to make sure that actually you have got the people there that you really want there. So again, could it be those key 3 or 4 people that you know have a great network? Who are those people who you know? Maybe it's in a new area that you haven't got into yet. Maybe you've just come to a bit of a standstill with your contact list, or maybe you feel like you've saturated your area and you need to get out of that. So could you ask them all to bring a friend, someone who is new to you? Maybe you've never tried a clinic before maybe, you know, gosh, I mean, can you imagine if you had the capacity to do a clinic a week for 6 weeks? That's 6 clinics. Could you do 4 spaces at each one? Could you literally go out and say, I've got 6 clinics planned, there's only 4 spaces at each one. Here are the themes. Got an oily skin, got a sleep clinic. Oh, anyone not sleeping very well, you need to be on this one. I've got 4 spaces at each. But those 4 people need to introduce you to someone new. And as a thank you, you'll give them a gorgeous gift. Could you put an event on? Again, maybe something for charity, or are there any events happening near you, around you, that you could be a part of? Summer fair, could you have a little stall? You literally, all you need, and we saw Irma share so beautifully about hers at our team meeting last time, you just need your skin therapy kit and to be talking about what we do. Has anyone got any other ideas before we finish off what they've been doing or what they would like to do to meet new people? Or are you all a bit, oh, I've got so many things going through my head?
I'll just quickly share. I don't know whether this has already been shared, so I did have to leave for just 10 minutes. But this month I actually partnered up with 2 charities, local charities to me, 2 which I've been involved with, or my family's been involved with, and it was really well received. I did the wellness experience, almost like a little snapshot of the wellness. So we didn't actually do the facial, but we did the without the facial, and I took those winner gift cards, gave 2 people beautiful gifts, and I'm now slowly following up with them, and I've got a few bookings already, got some orders as well. People are already messaging me saying I can't believe how amazing these products are. So a load of new people now into my database that hopefully I can, you know, get doing classes. So it might well be that, I mean, these 2 charities actually contacted me to do the experience, but that's because previously I'd opened myself up to them and just said, look, this is what I do now. If ever there's room for me to provide your service users with, you know, experience, then just let me know. So they knew I was there. So it might just be that you just look around for local charities, and obviously they didn't have to pay for anything, and I didn't do any selling whatsoever. It was just a case of providing them with a really lovely wellness experience. And they came to me and said, well, can I buy this? And I was like, yes, you can. So
I love
just an
that.
idea.
That's so good. Really, really good. I think most of you have heard about my PT experience as well, where I was like, my PT, I was like, you must have so many loyal clients that you'd love to treat as a thank you for remaining loyal to you, especially during COVID and stuff when he couldn't do it. They've come back to him after. So we just took over the yoga room just for an hour on a Saturday morning. Again, it was really impromptu. It was like we decided we were going to do it, and we did it the following Saturday. And yeah, I know Lucy, you're a personal trainer, lovely Gemma. So yeah, I just literally said I would just love to treat a handful. It ended up being 12 people in the end. But I was like, just handpick a few people that you would love to treat. And I just did a really lovely, you could do it with skin therapy, absolutely. You could just do a slumber facial. Again, you know, your manager can guide you through how to do it. But it was just a lovely experience. And for me, came away with 12 or 13 new clients, some of which purchased because they wanted the quietude spray and the repose, some of which booked, and one of which is looking at joining the business. So, you know, you might already, you probably are. I think when you start thinking new and outside the box, like, you know, Nikki, or there's a few charities that we were already involved with, or there's this school that I always visit, or there's this shop that I always go into, or the post office. How many times do we take our little packages into the post office and the people behind the thing go, that smells nice? Well, why don't you offer them an experience? Like, as a thank you for sending your packs. You know, I think it's having that radar switched on, isn't it? And thinking, well, yes, of course, I want to relax. I want to have a good time over the summer, but actually, I love what I do. Why wouldn't I want to be sharing that with people kind of wherever I go? So,
sorry.
yes.
I'm doing quite a big series on nutrition training and well-being to do with the menopause at the moment through my PT stuff. And what I'm going to do, I was trying to think about how I was going to incorporate it in without being all selly, because I don't want to shift the focus. But I think what I'm going to do at the end of the series is go through everyone who's really interacted with the videos and kind of the content, and just make a group in a notebook and invite them all to just a session, just a class, or just to get together and maybe have a little class hosted by me, obviously, and just if they want to do it, because I think it would be a nice way to get a lot of people together without just messaging them and saying, oh, would you like to do this, like just out of the blue.
Yes.
So I'm just going to try and bring them both together.
Yeah, well, it sounds like the perfect complementing experience.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm very interested in what you're doing. we're all kind of diving into that mindset of that kind of wellness in that arena. So
yeah,
that's really exciting. That's great. Do you all feel like you've got some ideas that you can start implementing? So now it's a plan, isn't it? The important thing is that they don't stay ideas on paper, that you actually make a plan. And so I think one thing that I always do off the back of, well, at the end of a training session is, what's one thing that you can implement like now? What's one thing that you can implement this week? What's one thing that you can implement this month? So think of 3 things that you can do. Like the 3 things that you're drawn to. Of all the things that you've written down, you could be like, yeah, I'm going to pick the phone up to some customers. I can absolutely do that. Yes, I'm going to host at home. Yes, I'm going to send an email from the hub. Just an idea of 3. So what we'd love for you to do is to decide on 3 things, and we're also going to pop a 2-minute, 5-minute and 10-minute idea document into the group. But we'd love for you to pick 3 things and tell your manager what those 3 things are within the next 48 hours. And we will just help you out, be accountable with you. But once you've chosen those 3 things, we're going to enter you into a prize draw, and one of you is going to win the wonderful Mani Pedicures tin. Because that's something fabulous that if you haven't got already, you can share at your classes. It's a host gift. And so you can take that with you, and it's a really great one for summer. So just before we just briefly talk about the little document that we're going to share, I'm going to do the attendance draw. I'm going to turn it down even more. In fact, I'm just going to stop recording now.